Tonight, the U.S. House of Representatives is scheduled to vote on H.R. 1, the so-called For the People Act, a bill touted by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi as a win for transparency and election integrity. But conservative lawmakers and even pro-life groups say, don't be fooled. Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales reports. Erik?
Well, Tracy, Democrats just wrapped up a press conference where they talked about why they're rushing H.R. 1 through the Congress, and it's all for election integrity. But Republicans I spoke with say, hold on, it has more to do about politicians than it does about the people. And they add that Democrats will get a real advantage in future elections because it eliminates all the safeguards. Democrats say H.R. 1 is the most significant voting rights and democracy reform in more than a half a century.
We combat big, dark, special interest money in politics and amplify the voice.
Republicans say not so fast.
Well, it's a massive political takeover machine.
Georgia Congressman Jody Hice says H.R. 1 will tip the election scale in favor of Democrats.
It has things like required mandatory universal mail-in ballots for everyone on voter registration files, and we know those files are grossly inaccurate.
The Republican says getting rid of voter ID will create ballot harvesting. He adds restricting states from being involved in their own elections is not the answer. Republicans say our founding fathers knew what they were doing in creating the Electoral College system, so everyone has a voice.
To make sure that places like California and New York, even before they knew there was a California, would one day be populated with lots of people, and they would have the opportunity with their political power to roll right over middle America. And that's why Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer want to do this so badly.
Even former Vice President Mike Pence is speaking out. He penned an op-ed calling on Congress to vote against H.R. 1, stating it will increase opportunities for election fraud, trample the First Amendment, and further erode confidence in our elections. Pro-life groups warn the bill could unfairly restrict their communications because it would treat small-dollar donors like lobbyists, limiting their communication with supporters. And by the way, the bill also will be able to make Washington, D.C. to possibly become a state one day. Now, Congressman Hice tells me that bottom line, it's just another step in the cancel culture movement that they are seeing lately here in Washington, D.C., one that attacks conservatives, people of faith, and makes them second-class citizens. At the Capitol, Erik Rosales, EWTN News Nightly.